Mr. Matlala, I referred you to page 25, paragraph 108 of your statement.
Page what?
Page
No,
25,
Paragraph
paragraph 108.
108.
108.
Okay. Yes, I see it.
Now, just before that, you had described how you met General Kele in Durban, and that he said, no, when you said, look, this chap Magotsi was messaging you and in touch with you, he said, no, continue doing that. He's going to lead you to Mkhunu. And then he also mentioned that you are being caught up in what he described as Zulu wars, and I'm trying to summarize what you told us, that he definitely seemed to help because there was a phone call which you claim was to General Khumalo, and your firearms were returned. You went to the police station to collect them. Then subsequent to that, at paragraph 108, you said that Minister Kele requested accommodation in Pretoria. I offered my apartment to Minister Kele for use when he was in Pretoria. And then you said that in one of your messages, you had referred to Minister Kele as my business associate, quote unquote, when communicating with property management. I only said that to give some basis for the nature of the relationship, but Minister Kele was not actually my business associate. He stayed at my apartment 3 or 4 times.
Yes, that's true.
You confirm that?
Yes.
And then you dealt with the cash payments, which you've now disclosed. You said, I made an initial payment of 300,000 in cash to former Minister Kele at my residence in Pretoria around January. Is that January 2025?
Yes.
I handed over the money while he was inside my apartment. This was after he told me they needed gratification, which he called a quote-unquote facilitation fee, related to his role in returning my firearms and stopping the harassment. He also implied that he was not acting alone, which explained why a large sum of money was required.
Yes.
So that's the first payment.
Yes, that's correct.
And that was in your apartment here in Pretoria.
Yes, that's correct.
Then you say you made a second cash payment around about March 2025 at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yes.
The purpose of the payments, from your perspective, you say, was to acknowledge my belief that Minister Kele had quote-unquote control over the police and had effectively stopped the harassment.
No, that is not true. So this statement, remember, I was supposed to go through it and correct some of the things.
So you want that part deleted?
Yes, because he was the one who asked me for money, not that I was acknowledging that he has power in the police.
So we'll make a note of that. But what did in fact, according to you anyway, what was in fact the case was that when you withdrew your court application against the police, the harassment did stop and your firearms were returned.
Yes, that's true.
So certainly at that point you thought he was value for money.
No, I'm saying he asked me for money and then he reminded me of what he did for me. And that's why I offered him the money. I'm not saying I felt like I need to pay him because of what he did.
Yeah. And then you say he later contacted you for more money, citing issues with his and his wife's cars. Eventually started to see. So I think in answer to one of the honourable member's questions, you spoke about these cars, and it was at a big game at Moses Mabhida. Is it the Chiefs Pirates game?
Yes.
So you remember very clearly that incident?
Yes, yes, I remember because of that game. Yes.
Okay. So he continued asking you for more money?
Yes, that's correct.
But then you started to see what you called demands as extortion, and you stopped making payments. and you stopped taking his calls from about 9 May 2025.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that right? And then shortly thereafter, you were arrested on the 14th of May 2025. Right? So do you seem to be saying, but you can say it in your own words, that there seemed to be a connection between you stopped making these payments and then your subsequent arrest shortly thereafterwards.
I will say that was one of the reasons, but the other reason, as we go on, and then I will explain about it.
Yes.